This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to We'll Run For. This is your host, Tom, and with me as always are Erin.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hi.
Howdy, friends.
Hi. We were just talking about Hanukkah, and I just realized I don't know when it starts.
Here's the thing.
What?
This is how dumb I am, because up until probably this year, I always thought no matter what the calendar, that Hanukkah, the 8 days of Hanukkah, always ended on Christmas Day.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So
They're not connected.
I believe it's December.
This is
December 7th through
7th.
15th.
this is no other commentary
say, I
other
think
than
it's
I'm
December
stupid.
7th.
That's it. That's the only commentary.
Oh my God.
And that brings us back to Albert Einstein.
Here,
Yes.
we began this because Tom said oy vey, and I asked him whether he's celebrating Hanukkah this year.
I have been to a Seder. I know what Herosis is. I know what the Afikomen is and the hiding of it. I know a lot about Passover.
Okay.
He says that, but we were watching the 10 Commandments, and in the middle of the movie, he literally looks at me and goes, "Is Jesus going to be there?"
Look, clearly, if we ever put out a calendar, I'm the one who's going on that calendar. So I'm radio pretty. Like, I'm not.
I'm like, give it a couple thousand years, and he'll show up.
I'm not the smartest. I just don't know when things were. Welcome to our running podcast. We missed everyone.
Oh my
We've
God.
both been kind of traveling a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we. I feel like it's been almost a month since we recorded. Honestly, I thought we weren't recording this week, so I was super confused
We had
when
no
people
idea
were
what's
like,
going
"We're
on."
recording." I was like, "We are."
So I knew.
Okay. There you go.
Thankfully, you have
Yeah,
a calendar because
okay.
none
See,
of us kept track.
Yeah.
Diana, who's always like, I don't do anything, I just show up, was the only one of us who had any idea what was
Well,
happening.
because I know next week we're busy every single night, so I was like,
Yes.
we cannot
Yeah.
be. We're not recording.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. See, I did not remember this in any way. So I for some reason didn't think we were recording again until December. And here we are on November 30th.
Yes.
For timing ourselves.
Do we have any housekeeping or anything to talk about?
Yes.
Do we?
We need your year-end goal getters.
Oh, we do. I was
We've got a couple
waiting
things to
until
talk about.
December 1st, which is tomorrow. I'll put a post out there too. Maybe I'll wait till this episode drops now since we're going to talk about it right now.
Yes.
And you could also do what we're doing and going back and listening to our goal getters from the beginning of this year to see what we did and see what we said, and then we're gonna see what we did, if anything. The last few years have been kind of a bust for everybody.
They've been
They're
sketchy.
just
Yeah.
sketchy
They're very
at best.
sketchy.
So we'll see how we measured up this year. I think
Yes.
this year we tried to keep them vague, so maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
And then make
Um,
our new goals. But
yes,
I know we read
well-
some of yours, and you guys sent an audio. So if you want to go back and
Yeah. We'll be listening. We'll be looking for two separate things. One for your year-end goal getter, what you accomplished, what we can celebrate you doing in 2023. And then as a second separate thing, we're going to do what you are looking to accomplish in 2024.
Yeah.
And voice recordings would be excellent. We would love that.
Yeah.
This is the one time a year that we ask for
Some kind of
to not
voice
have to talk
audio. Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah. If not, send a email.
Yeah, we'll still read whatever you send us, but we would
Yes.
love some voice recordings and making it a little bit more personalized for the end of the year.
Yep. We'll probably do an Instagram post too. But
Yeah, I definitely will. random. This has nothing to do with, I guess, our housekeeping. But did you guys know, like, for Coast to Coast, right? For Run Disney, and maybe somebody in the Run Disney community, Bob out there, Greg out there, I emailed Run Disney because I was like, how do they know whether you're doing Coast to Coast? And they just were like, their answer was basically, you don't have to register for it. We'll have the medals available at the end of the race.
So
that doesn't answer the question.
How they've done it in the past is when you registered for your second race, there's a radio button that you click that says, I'm doing Coast to Coast. I don't know if like that was there. It should have been there. But in previous years, you had to go up to a booth and then they checked in the computer and then gave you a medal is how they've done it.
Oh, when you check in?
After you finish the race.
You finish the race.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's not like, I don't think it's listed anywhere on your bib or anything, but you have to go to like a special tent. Remember how, oh God, and I didn't even know because it's probably been 5 years since they did this. When you were doing any type of challenge, they took your photo and you got your bib or you got your medal at the end. They sent you through, they checked your photo. It's the same thing, and they verify your status is what it was.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how
I was curious because I thought somebody had said that you had to check a box, and I definitely don't have a box checked and nothing on my registration. So I emailed them and was like, I just felt like their answer was not helpful. It literally was like, you'll get the medal at the end. Like, it didn't tell me how, it didn't tell me, and I'm like, that didn't feel helpful.
Yeah, and I remember, and it wouldn't be on your marathon registration. I think it would be on your Disneyland.
Should be on the Disneyland one, right? Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Kind of what I'm thinking. Because
it's definitely not on mine because I just looked at it. I think it's because part of my question is like how, because there's multiple tracks you could take, right? Because you could do Disney and Disneyland. So I guess if you show up at Disneyland and you want your medal, whatever medals are in Disneyland, it's obvious you did that track. But like, then what's to stop me from going at Springtime Surprise and being like, I also did this one?
Because they would see on your registration you had done.
That's what I'm saying. That because Diana's saying they could check a computer now.
Yeah.
Then they can check that I completed it already.
Yeah.
That was my confusion with it. Like, how do they know what track I'm doing? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what?
They're not like out. Like how now, like the challenge medals are even out, so you could just go get it even if you didn't do the other two. Like,
it's on the bib though, right?
It's on the bib.
No,
but before, like, they verified everything when you were going through the why can't I think of what the word is? The chute. Like they verified at the chute, like what you had done. I think.
Gotcha.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry, took us on a random tangent, but now you all know. Now anyone doing Coast to Coast, if you've never run Coast to Coast, we'll hope that that's the same way that they're going to do it this time.
Yeah, because when I did Tinkerbell, because you did Princess first, they had to have done something because you got a special medal for Tinkerbell and Princess. You got a pink Coast to Coast, not a regular Coast to Coast. And they were able to tell whether you got the pink or the regular.
Yeah, that's why when I expected when I emailed them that they were going to tell me I needed to like check a box someplace or do something.
I think the other thing we needed to do housekeeping is Tom came up with a challenge for December.
I barely got my step. Well, we were just in Disney, so I got my steps. But like giving credit where credit is due, our good friend EcoFit, and we'll get to her goal. But she did have a goal of 10,000 steps per day. She's done it before. She's going to do it again. And it got me thinking because it's real easy to sit and do nothing when you don't have a big race on your calendar, even if you do. So I thought, let's see who wants to participate, and let's try to get 10,000 steps per day, December 1st through December 25th.
Well,
okay.
Good.
Well, this episode drops after that, so I hope that
we already posted at least.
We did post. Yeah. Do you want me to make you a little 25-day calendar?
Sure.
They're pretty easy.
That'd be amazing.
It takes 2 seconds.
And we can kind of put it out there, and people can check it off if they want, And if you're hearing this for the first time, Thank you for listening.
Join up.
But then join up and just try to get them steps in. We can all do it together.
Nice.
Sounds good.
I also, and I actually need to message her right now. We haven't recorded in so long that I never announced that the winner of the Will Run for spooky bingo. Wait, what was I calling it?
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger
Yes.
hunt. Oh my gosh, my
From
brain.
Halloween.
From Halloween.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, it's only a month later. It's only a month later. It's no big deal.
Oh my god.
Was Susie Spindrift Soul.
Awesome.
I still owe her pair of gooders, so I'm gonna message her right now while I'm thinking about it because
That's a good
I completely
idea.
forgot about it until this moment while we were recording. I apologize, Susie. I am not a responsible human.
Congratulations, Susie.
Yay!
Yeah.
We've been waiting a month to tell you this good news.
Well, I told her because I at least did the spin live and then
that's
tagged
true.
her.
That's
So
true.
she does
That's
know
true.
she won.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, Michael,
Yeah.
do we have any new 5-star reviews?
No. You know what would be great for Christmas? Some 5-star reviews.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would be amazing.
We were on a lot of Spotify end of year lists, so thank you for that. Share those. That's amazing. Share the show with people. That's all.
It's really fun.
It's the best way.
Tom was
I was
very
on-
excited because he got a Spotify Wrapped this year.
I don't use Spotify, so I had to use Pocket Casts. My list was not that exciting. It was 4 NBA podcasts and Be Our Guest. Only because
Not Rise and Run or
because all of those shows put out multiple episodes a week. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going at 5 a week now. It's constant. I don't know how he does anything else.
Yeah. And some of the NBA ones I listen to are 4 or 5 a week. So it's and they're year round. So,
yeah,
it's a lot.
Oh, I actually listened to our Inside the Runner studio this week.
Oh,
not that I actually did. I listen to them frequently, but I listened to this one. Happened to listen to this one today, so it's fresh in my mind. I have to say, it was hilarious. We were all very funny.
So much fun.
We were all very funny.
I agree. That was a great interaction.
What a great dude! Just so fun.
And then I also we somehow, because when I made his episode art, this is why I'm bringing this up. Somehow, because he runs for No Cheese Pizza, and I was like, no cheese pizza, and he's like, yeah. And as I was listening, he does talk about it, like that's what he likes to his post run food. He talks about pizza and no cheese, and I was like, we completely glossed over the fact that he doesn't eat he doesn't put cheese on his pizza.
We would have had a reaction to that if we were actually listening. So that proves
I was listening. I can't.
We don't pay attention.
Did we not?
Who? We did not react in any way to the no cheese pizza. He does not put cheese on his pizza.
Maybe we're so self-aware that we know our reaction would be so visceral and off-putting to our guest, who has a successful podcast with his friend Erica, which we also glossed over the fact that his name is Eric and her name is Erica,
This is
and
true.
they're friends who have a podcast.
Yeah, that is it's quite interesting. Yeah, that is.
But yes, he eats no cheese pizza, and that's what he runs for.
Yes.
And it's because he has a dairy allergy, apparently, because I learned this while we were talking. It's not a lactose intolerance thing. It's an actual thing where he has to carry an EpiPen because he can't have dairy.
Oh.
And honestly, I would go no cheese before I would go vegan cheese, to be fair.
I agree with that.
I listened today to that episode. None of that sounds familiar.
Well,
none of that is familiar because we didn't get
to tell the story. We were going to tell the story later in the episode, and then we never got to it.
Well, he says in the episode, he said, I'll get there. We can get there later. And then we never get there.
Of course we never got there.
And go back.
We got sidetracked.
And then I don't even remember it. So then when he said it to me, in a text as I was doing his episode art, I was like, I'm sorry, did you just say no cheese pizza? And he said, yes, because I don't eat cheese on my pizza. And I had a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
Well,
I would
fair.
just not eat
Fair.
pizza. I feel like the best part of the pizza is
Yeah, tomato
like-
pie's good though.
Well,
Tomato pie.
he eats pizza with the toppings, though,
Oh,
and
that's
just
fair.
no
Yeah,
cheese.
Yeah,
I would just
You do
order
that.
something else.
yeah, true.
So that's some cleanup that
Yeah.
I
So everybody go back, listen to Eric from On the Runs, and then listen to On the Runs also.
yeah, and when we eventually get to be on his podcast, on that podcast, then we'll talk about that.
And I hope that that experience to you, Eric, proved once and for all, you don't need 4 of us at once. Yeah.
I like that everyone's
Yeah.
here. I would like everyone to be included.
Oh my god.
Just a lot.
All right.
Insane. Sorry.
No.
I know we're all over the place. I don't know. I'm all over.
We didn't have a great plan for
agenda.
this evening, but
Which
true.
is always
No.
a recipe for success with us.
Well, we almost had a panic listen to our Goal Getters episode from last year until we realized we weren't actually.
Well,
doing
because
that.
they were like, "Are we doing goals?" I was like, "Wait a second.
that was me.
I thought we said that we were not doing
I
that."
told
To be
you,
fair,
I don't know when
nobody
things
knew.
happened.
Neither did we, so it didn't matter.
I didn't know that we were even recording tonight, but I did remember.
I didn't
that
even know it was
wasn't gonna be our
Thursday,
next.
so
There you go.
No,
Who
I
knows
actually thought
what's
it was
going on?
Wednesday literally all day today.
I've been thinking it's Wednesday all week. So
Not me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday. Here's the deal. What
Yeah.
are we running for this week?
Oof.
Good question.
I'll go first.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, I'll go first. I actually have something.
Go ahead.
It's about to be December, and every December, Tom and I do a beer advent calendar.
Mm.
And it's actually a shame, and you can tell how much of a year we struggled with, because we did not actually finish our advent calendar last year, so we're having our Shiner box from last Christmas. It's fine. From our advent calendar last Christmas, because we kind of stopped drinking
Yeah.
like last year. So this year we're going to commit to the advent calendar. We're going to have beer every day, as I don't know, the Lord intended for Christmas, and that's how we're going to celebrate. So we go and we do custom 6-packs, and we have a different beer, and it costs way too much money.
Way too
and
much money.
takes way too much time
True.
to create.
Do you share one beer, or do you buy a double of every beer?
We share one beer.
We share.
Okay.
And we share one beer.
I feel like that's okay.
Yes.
And not that even doing one beer a day would be bad, but I feel like, a half a beer a day is even like that's like whatever.
No.
Yeah, you get a nice taste of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just did, like, we went and we got 12. We have to go back and get 12 more. And I tell you, singular beers is like the worst way to buy a beer, honestly.
Terrible.
Mhm.
It's like when I register for a series of races that is also a challenge, but I register individually.
And get no discount.
I'm
whatsoever.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
And then you don't even get the medal that you are
No.
supposed to get for doing the challenge.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
bad.
I don't know. What am I running for? I'm running to go back to Ireland. I don't know.
Frosted Lucky Charms.
Oh my God! Help!
How
help us.
offensive were
Top
you in
of the
Ireland?
morning to you.
We'll get to that.
Wait. I'm running for the seafood feast that I
Oh, it
ate.
was so good. We had lunch with Michelle and Peter.
Yes,
and her mom.
And her mom.
Crazy
We went to
Runner
House.
It was so bizarre.
Yeah,
It's like-
Michelle was listening to this very podcast while she was on a run, and she texted me after she got done. She's like, "Did you just say on the podcast you guys are going to Dublin for Thanksgiving?" I was like, "Yes." She's like, "I'm gonna be there." So
we did a little day trip. with
Yeah,
them.
it was sort of unplanned too. We were like, oh, we'll do something at some point. And then I had messaged her. They went out to Cork, and I messaged her that night and was like, oh, I think Michael and I are thinking about going out to Houth tomorrow. And she's like, oh, that's where we're going. I was like, oh, you don't happen to want to drive us there?
Nice.
Because they had a car.
Nice.
Because I was like literally just starting to look up the buses and the trains and
Yeah,
try
we're
to
gonna
figure
do
out how
that.
we get
Yeah.
there. And then she said that. I was like, oh, well, can we pitch a ride? So we had lunch out there with her, or we went out to the cliffs.
We went to the tiny secret beach. Or
We
whatever it's called.
climbed down to the tiny secret beach
Yeah, which was a little
that Peter
cool.
found on the Google map.
It's a very nice little hike. Not too far or anything.
There were no
Beautiful out
dogs
there.
squeaking their squeaky
oh my
toys.
gosh, the squeaky toy.
He just brought over like his pumpkin and dropped it in our like little basket of like microphones and recording stuff.
Oh my god.
He's like, this belongs in here now. So we did a little hike, and then we went to the actual like little village where they basically like roll up with fresh seafood and are like, here you go.
It was very good.
So we had a giant table full of just, we ordered way too much.
Well, yeah, of course we did. Yeah,
so much.
We ordered too much, but it was good. It was very good.
Michael, what are you running for? Uh-oh.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh,
that was going to be my something good.
We've begun.
I was going to say
I'm going to run. I'm going to run for Harry Potter.
Oh my God. That was going to be my something good. I was going to ask how many times can I use Harry Potter as my something good?
I did not use any Irish accents in
Now I have to think of a new something
Is
good.
it because you cannot do an Irish accent?
It's
you'll think?
quite possible.
And he'd be insulting everybody.
Everyone, yeah, pretty much, yeah, that too. Let's see, yeah, I am running for. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know anymore. I have like these races coming up. I guess I should be training for them. So I'm running for that.
Training.
Yeah, I got to do that at some point. I mean, I'm running.
I mean, we walked 40,
we did
40
like 40
plus miles
of
walking when we were in Dublin.
You know, when you take a week off running and you feel like you haven't run in like 3 years?
Yes.
That's like where I'm at right now, even though I did run like the week before. So I don't know. I guess I'm running to return to running after a week of not running.
Oh my God.
But I did Peloton with Run Disnerd today.
Oh.
I saw that.
Yeah. I stalked them.
Was that by accident? Or like when you got on, you saw friends online and
I
you
saw a
clicked on
friend
that?
online as I was finishing, and I was like, oh, who's that? And it was him. And I was like, oh, I'll ride with him. And then I followed him right to his next class after that, too.
Oh, there you go.
Did you guys do 45 minutes Celine Dion?
No, I had already done 2 rides prior to hopping on with him, so I just did.
Oh my God,
2.
how long did you ride for?
I don't know. I guess pretty long because I did 4 rides. One of them was only 5 minutes.
Oh,
so
okay.
It might be time to re-engage with Rise and Run on a Peloton biking challenge.
They don't want none of this.
Yeah, can we just get?
I wanted to do like a Peloton like overall challenge, but I never quite figured that out, like how to point system that.
Oh yeah.
Because to make it fair and not just include just the people who have Peloton bikes. Because I feel like
I agree.
There's a lot of people who use the Peloton app for like their runs and like for strength training and like all that kind of stuff. So like I was trying to figure out how to like make a point system.
Interesting.
So that it wasn't just
mileage based.
Yeah. Because I mean, I can sit on a bike for 3 hours with no problem, and that's not fair to people.
Yeah, I can't do 3 yet, but I can do an hour.
I can barely do an hour, and it's also because I'm bored and I want to get off. Like,
oh, you know what's messed up on there right now? You can do the rides, like the 10K ride along whatever the coast in Alaska. They're not syncing up properly with your speed.
Oh no!
Like it'll finish. Like I had one that was going so fast, it was like you were driving down the highway, and then it finishes, and it just freezes at the end of the whatever 10K or 5K or whatever it is. And then you're still finishing your ride with a frozen screen.
oh, interesting. I've never.
It's because it's not syncing up properly for some reason.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I had one today. It was the same thing. It was only off by like half a K or something, like 500 meters. So
I had an issue with the entertainment. Do you guys have the entertainment on yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm used to
Because
it.
I know that not everyone had it until recently because we had like the beta. I don't know. I'm a beta tester apparently, which I didn't remember that I did.
It's okay. I'm an alpha.
So they released the new thing, and I think it's the one for everyone. And I was on it, and it literally just stopped in the middle of it, like at 5 miles, 5.8 miles. Like it just went away, and I was like, "What? Did it even save my ride? Like what happened?" So there's some funky stuff going on.
Oh, that's weird. Like we can see like the Disney Plus logo and all that stuff now.
Yeah. I was signed into Netflix. I was just watching something on Netflix, and it just like in the middle of it, it didn't even like crash. Like it's not like the whole thing crashed. It just stopped playing, and then on this little sidebar that had my miles and my wattage and everything just went away, and then I couldn't find it anywhere. Like it brought me back to the home screen, and then when I went back to the Netflix thing, it like was telling me I needed to sign back into Netflix. So it just disappeared. Really, when we don't have a topic, this is a recipe for us to just randomly talk about nonsense.
So do you think having a topic should be a goal of ours?
It probably should be a goal of ours.
And now, it's time for our Will Run 4 Goal Getters. Congrats on making your goals, you getters. Oh, you rest of shit.
Alrighty. Hey, our friend Jack. I pre-read it, and then I got like nervous butterflies. So Jack is going for a BQ and a PR at Rehoboth Seesaw Marathon on Saturday. So December 2nd. So he'll be finished by the time this comes out next Monday.
Yes. That's a great course for it, for sure.
Yep, it's awesome.
It holds my PR, so.
Whew. All right, well, good luck, Jack. We'll be thinking about you. Past and future marathoner Megan is running a Ragnar trail race this weekend. My goal is simple. Don't get eaten by any wildlife in the woods at night. Yep.
Good.
It's a good goal.
Like
It's a very good goal.
Fair goal.
Excellent goal.
Also,
excellent goal.
Be outdoors. There. EcoFit. So I actually have a legitimate bet set for next year for getting 10,000 steps per day with multiple coworkers.
Ooh,
if you miss 30 number days, then you buy everyone a beer. 60 days, a 6-pack. 90 days, a 12-pack. And 120 days, liquor, etc. Oh, I'll allow it. That's great. The more intermediate goal is to beat my friends' steps for 2023, survive Dopey, Take 2, and avoid hearing Mariah's All I Want for Christmas. Look, I'm seeing her in concert next Friday.
And
is that why you used
I'm not.
the...
Yes, it is. That's deep trolling is what that is.
Yes, they have like a feud going on. And then sending all the holiday cheer, excellent Hallmark movies, and less of her baby love. Amen.
That's hilarious. I didn't read her goal but I know that's the song you attached to our...
Look, I don't want a lot for Christmas.
Just to troll EcoFit.
There is just one thing I need.
Oh man.
But yeah, excellent goals. That I do like what you're doing there, because I remember last year when like you fell off the wagon, you were like, I'm just done. But now the more you don't do, like
the worse
because you can get right back. Yeah, you can get right back on now because it's like, all right, I can't miss more than 30 days.
Yeah.
So I fell off the wagon for one day, but I have to get right back on.
Yeah, perfect. And then Leah, who have we heard from Leah in a while? Welcome back, Leah. I feel like I haven't heard your name in a little while.
She I think was here just right before she did the 50 miler.
Yeah.
This fall, I had a goal of successfully completing the Chicago Marathon as a training run and finishing my first 50-mile race feeling strong. Well, both races were completed, but finishing feeling strong eluded me. Wasn't it? Yeah. Chicago's hard. Injury had me running Chicago under-trained, which made the second half quite painful. I was grateful to finish, but at the same time, thought, how the hell am I going to do this distance twice in a month? I recovered from Chicago and continued training, only to get COVID 10 days before my
Oh my
50
God.
miler.
Terrible.
I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but felt better after about 5 days, so I just decided to attempt the 50 and see what happens. Once I was standing at the start line, I was convinced I was going to go into cardiac arrest on the trail. Oh my God. And would have no one around to save me. A little dramatic, but this was my biggest fear. Nevertheless, I crossed the start line praying I'd see my finish. See the finish, not my finish. My injury flared up. Turned out to be a saving grace because it forced me to walk the last 23 miles because running was too painful. And when I was walking faster... Oh, and I was walking faster than I was running at that point. Many painful hours later, I crossed the finish line and cried and hugged my daughter, who was waiting for me in the freezing cold. I still can't believe I finished both races with what I had going against me. In the faraway future, I'd like to tackle those distances again, hopefully without the obstacles I had this time.
It's still that's amazing.
Seriously.
So great.
I know that I saw on her social media that those last 23 miles, and I don't know whether it was all 23 miles, but she had a crew with her. She hooked up with I think it was maybe 3 other run walkers who were also in a pain cave, and they pain caved it. They took their pain caves and combined them.
Oh, wow.
And made them helped each other to the finish. So that is part of what I love about the trail running community and these kinds of distances. You find someone also going through, and you just hive mind it together and make it happen.
Absolutely. Well, you never know what's going to happen. Someone I work with has been training all year for Richmond, was going for a PR, and her daughter tested positive for COVID Wednesday, and she tested positive Friday before, the Sunday race. So you never know.
Terrible. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. We are super proud of you, and we look forward to cheering you on the next time you do your 50 miler. What about 100? I mean, if you did 50, you can pain cave it to 100.
You know why ultra marathoners are always like, just add another 20 miles on, and it's nothing. It's so bizarre to me, how people who do those distances talk.
Michael missed that goal getter. Leah finished her 50 miler.
I saw. I know.
Yeah.
Well, I put it in there, so yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It was awesome to see following along.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have Tice, ran NXR Heartland 3 weeks ago. I broke 17 in the 5K for the first time. Oh my God.
I don't know who this kid is.
Yeah, he is fast, man.
All the times he writes in, I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
Love it.
Why do you listen to us?
My legs aren't that fast.
I
You
would
know
like
what?
to know why this
Thank
person
you.
listens to us.
Thank you for listening.
It's because I'm just gonna assume we're the same age, so we must connect on some level.
17.
Which was my goal for this season. I just got off my 2-week break, and I'm starting to build up towards my track season. I'm hoping to undergo a 4:30 for a mile.
Yes.
And a sub 10 for 2 miles.
Nice.
Oh my
nice.
God! I need to know.
Love
it. Wow.
One, how old
Love
this?
it.
How old are you?
This is Karate Junior.
And 2, because we're talking about cross country season. So what grade? I have a lot. I have so many questions.
Let's get this person on an Inside the Runner studio and see if Diana can talk the talk when she tries to connect to the youths.
Lord. Oh my
cap.
God.
Wait,
No.
are you allowed to say that?
Like,
anymore?
how did you find us? Like,
Can
what
you
is
say no
happening
cap?
here? I have a lot of questions.
Are you being sus?
So many questions.
Something about Riz? I don't know.
Riz. I knew Riz was coming.
Oh God,
I did just order a pair of wide leg jeans, so
Don't-
I'm ready.
Don't be
Oh, God.
don't be chuggy.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for sending in your goal getter.
All right. Rachel likes to run. Goal: I am killing strength training 3 to 4 times a week while I let my plantar fasciitis continue to rest.
Wow, that is awesome.
That is awesome.
I mean, the plantar isn't awesome, but at least you're taking advantage of it and doing something.
And killing it, apparently.
I definitely would not be taking advantage of it. I would.
Got C. Larson. I have a couple fun runs in December. The Jingle 12K and a Santa Hustle half marathon.
Love it.
And then my January goal is to pace a friend to complete the Houston Marathon in under 6 hours.
Oh, that's so
Love
awesome. Pacing people
that.
is awesome.
Yes, that's
love
one of
it.
my favorite things to do.
That's great.
Lisa Taylor says, once again, illness has prevented me from completing my 100-mile bike ride and will seriously affect marathon weekend. I guess I don't need... Yeah, I guess I didn't need that stupid gallbladder. Oh, that's right. I did see that.
Lisa's had a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa's had a year.
Yeah. So my goal is to finish the half marathon at Walt Disney World in January, and I'm going to complete that 100-mile bike ride in 2024. Third time's a charm, right? Right?
You know what?
It's a lot of exclamations and
Putting
a lot
in
of
the
question
effort
marks.
to get there is what's most important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, agreed. Got Chiquita, who says to get through December and show up marathon weekend injury-free.
It's a good idea.
Love that.
Simple goal.
Simple.
Yeah.
Jay Hall, not to be sad that I'm pulling out of LA marathon training and just train to stay trained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I do,
Mm-hmm.
but I still do races and just
Well,
float between.
you're ridiculous. So, I
Float.
mean, you know.
Yeah, it's because you try to incorporate these races into your training plan, but like the day of the race, you'll be like, I'm gonna go for like this insane whatever I'm gonna do today for no reason. Like that's what it is. Like it wouldn't be, hey, I'm running this as part of a training plan. It's like day of, you make some weird decision about what you're gonna do.
Like, well, that's what happens. Is like that's the problem. Is that he goes into it like, oh, this is just whatever. I don't care. And then, like you said, the day of, he's like, all of a sudden, you're like, what? You literally said you're going to take it easy and do this as like whatever run, and now all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to run 100 miles. And you're like, what? Why? What happened? I don't understand.
Sometimes you
Diana has you pegged.
Well, she's been there when it's happened.
where I'm like watching it happen in real
It literally
time.
happened at Space Coast.
It's
I was like, yeah, I don't know.
It happened
what I'm
at whatever that loopy thing that you did, where
Oh yeah.
Well,
all of a sudden
Yeah, you went
were
out like flying, and we're like, what is he doing?
doing? Yeah.
in your defense, at Space Coast, you were trying to get away from.
Everybody, that's fair. Yeah.
Well, after that embrace,
oh yeah,
we know it. We know what happened.
Oh,
You ran away.
after you tried to touch Diana's ass.
After the hand on the hip, you were like, "I'm out."
Very gentle.
Gentle caress.
Yes.
Don't be joyful.
I think it's supposed to say 10,000 steps.
Okay.
Sometimes
Steps a
copy and
day.
paste does not always go correctly.
Okay. Steps a day, I don't even know. Okay. Steps a day, 10,000 in December because Tom's excellent idea. I'm still not sure that is exactly how you typed it, Dawn. I apologize. Michael's copy and paste
When we
may
copy and paste the
be a little...
stickers, it's actually me copy and pasting the text from an image. So sometimes that doesn't.
Okay.
It's supposed to say 10,000 steps a day in December because of Tom's excellent idea.
There you
Oh,
go.
well, yeah, that is way different than what I just said.
But it's also, as I've stated, EcoFit's excellent idea that I stole.
Okay.
So let's get it.
Give me all the coffee, focus on cross training, and start working on laying out my training plan for spring races.
Nice.
I can't even believe that we're in December, that we could even start talking about spring.
Oh, remember
Strange.
spring? Remember leaves? Green.
I'll tell you what I remember is this last goal getter.
Raph runs SD.
Welcome
Oh.
back, Raph.
Oh boy!
Hey, Raph. I'm running regularly again. Also, new Instagram handle. Shocking.
Shocking.
Can I just tell you how surprised we are? We all are. Everyone here can't believe it.
Oh,
And we're running and training
Love
for the 10K in LA in March. Want to do a half in late 2024.
Welcome back, Raph.
And SD, where is he now?
San Diego.
San Diego?
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
San Diego. Yeah.
So he's running San Diego now.
Yes.
Can I throw in a goal getter?
Absolutely.
My goal getter will be to, at some point in person, see Matt Algier.
Yeah.
For the following reasons. We're going to talk about the Bay Bridge Run. He did the Bay Bridge Run, which is in our state. It's on a bridge, and we didn't see him. And in his
I've
defense...
never seen him at that race. I've done it every year he's done it, and he disappears every year.
In his defense, it was a little chilly this time and windy, but, like, again, nowhere to be found. Second reason, we were just at Jollywood, which we'll talk about.
Oh, he was also there.
Matt was at Jollywood at the exact
was.
same time that we
Yes.
were.
And you
Absolutely.
didn't see him?
We all get back to the hotel because then I look at Facebook and he checked in from the same hotel. And I'm like, first of all, we were in the same park for 6 hours. You didn't see us. Second of all, we all went back to the same hotel. And like, granted, it's like 1 a.m. or something, or 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I get it. And he was just crashing in a friend's room waiting for his flight. So like, it wasn't ideal. But I'm starting to think he doesn't exist. I'm already on the fence about Santa Claus, and now if I start questioning whether or not Matt's a real person,
I actually wondered whether you guys were going to cross paths at Jollywood because I knew you guys were both there.
Well, Tom and him were texting
the entire night.
the entire night, and he was always like on the opposite end of the park.
Oh my god.
He's like, "Tell me where you are." I'm like, "Here." He was like, "Okay, good. I'm exactly the opposite end of the park."
Yeah. Nowhere near you.
Oh my god.
So we don't really have a topic. We have a few things that we wanted to chat about.
Well, I mean, it's basically what's been happening right now.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Bay Bridge, so you should start there since that's probably the oldest thing.
Yeah.
Other than not seeing Matt, how was it?
It was funny because you were like, didn't you guys run Bay
I
Bridge?
was like, I
and
knew-
I was like,
well,
was that not weeks ago?
It was, but we haven't recorded since the 1st of November.
Oh, has it been that long?
We
Yeah.
wanted to
Wow.
take a holiday break.
Yes. And we were away 2 weekends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
As per usual, I hate the Bay Bridge Run. This is my final year, and I'm standing by it. And Tom likes it, though, so he can talk about it.
So it's the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. It's 10K. 4 of those miles are on the bridge. It's kind of basic. The logistics are a little annoying because they'll bus you from either Naval Stadium in Annapolis or like the community college to the start line. Starts, you go across the bridge, and then you have to get a shuttle back over the bridge, back to your car. It actually goes fairly smoothly. We've had 1 or 2 years where it's a mishap and they accidentally miss the turn and they take you across the bridge and everyone's mad.
Oh, God.
The bus drivers never know where they're going.
Yeah.
Like, if you miss one turn, you have
You're
to go
stuck.
across the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
Oh,
turning
God.
around.
There's no room for error.
And they miss it a lot.
Well, that bridge is precarious.
And it's also terrifying being on a bus on that bridge. And I
It's
don't
terrifying
like it.
being in a car
It-
on that bridge.
It
I
gives
hate that
me
bridge so much.
anxiety, and I always like kind of forget briefly about the anxiety. And
This is why I could never
awful.
do this run, is because that bridge terrifies
I
me.
think you're thinking of the Bay Bridge Tunnel, not the Bay Bridge.
No, I'm thinking about the Annapolis Bridge.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's like it's like the top 5
the way-
deadliest bridges in the United States.
And when you go,
yeah,
like when you look at it and like the way it twists and then goes up, like it looks terrifying from like, I almost turned all the way back around, went all the way back to 95 and sat in traffic because that's how it took me home from like some like DC one year.
they
and I was
actually
like,
have
I'm
people
not
that'll
driving
drive
over
you
this bridge.
over. Like there's a spot where you can like pull over, and someone will drive you.
I wish I had known that. I almost turned around. I was like having a panic attack, like approaching it.
Yeah.
I've been going across that bridge my entire life. Doesn't bother me.
My dad made me drive across it when I had my learner's permit. He told me we could pull
No.
over before we got to the bridge and he'd switch with me, and he did not.
I've driven over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge like 8 million times. The one that goes up tunnel bridge.
Yeah, the Bay
That one.
Bridge
Yeah,
tunnel,
no, that
yeah.
one's fine. I don't love it because it's like you're over water for a very long time, and I hate bridges in general. But the Bay Bridge, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, is like terrible.
All right. Here are some reasons why I hate this race. First, it's always November. So it's like freezing.
Windy, cold.
It's cold and it's windy. And we've had, I think, good weather one year. You have to buy beer after the race. They don't give you a free beer. The logistics of it are a mess. This is actually, I think it was so cold. We started relatively early, so we were able to finish the race and then get on a bus, and there wasn't too much traffic. But there's been previous years where we've sat over an hour trying to get back across to the other side of the bridge after the race, where you're just sitting on the bridge on a bus, not moving at all. And then if you're not fast, or you elect a certain, like one of the earlier corrals, all of the lines, they have a ton of stuff after the race. And if they actually had more of it, I feel like it would be better. But all of like the food truck lines, everything are super long, and it's just never it's a lot of work for, I don't think, a lot of payoff is my problem with it.
I'll concede to that. That's an accurate statement.
But
yeah.
it's cool. It is cool being on the bridge. I just don't think I need to do it every year.
Yeah, I can see
Well,
that.
they had, because I remember they had like some sort of challenge for a little while where if you did it for consecutive years,
and it's still
you got
going
something
on.
special.
It's like a medal that is a puzzle.
Yes, okay.
And it just
That's
keeps
what I was
building
thinking.
and adding, because there was like drama one year where they said the puzzle was going to end and have like a round piece, and then they gave people another like actual puzzle piece rather than like a finished puzzle piece. So people were mad.
Yeah, they were like
So the
talking about
whole
it.
thing.
5 years, you get to make this picture, and then the 5th year, it was just another piece, and it clearly connected to something else, and everybody was like, I don't want to sign up for this thing in perpetuity. Can we finish?
Can we?
Yeah, like you got to end the.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's the same people that put on like the Baltimore Marathon. Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's them that I have like a vendetta against. Because you'd think it would be like a better something. I also don't like.
That's the one that put on the Ocean City one this year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. It's also like you run over the bridge and you think you're done, and then you have 2 miles when you get off the bridge.
Oh, really?
Like on the side of some road. It's terrible. So I don't know.
I was gonna say, I know somebody had the picture of this bridge. This bridge is terrifying looking. I knew Matt Frumpa has it on his.
Oh, was he there?
Yeah.
I mean, that looks that's terrifying.
I love that bridge
Yeah.
because it always signifies that I'm going on some sort of vacation
Yeah.
or getting out of our side of the state, but whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it this year. And then my friend, who like hardly ever does anything, said she was going to do it. And I was like, well, I'll do it. And then I didn't even see her because that race is a logistical nightmare. So I was like, never again.
Oh, man.
So that was the Bay Bridge run.
God, I've hated like a ton of races this year. Like,
it's a Diana thing.
I like it because
like,
I like it because it's unique and it's just a different kind of vantage point or whatever.
yeah.
16,000 runners run it.
That's a
Wow.
lot of people.
That's
no wonder
big.
it's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
And it's like a ton of walkers. Like the last, like I think 2 corrals are like exclusively walkers.
I can see. Yeah, for those bridge ones, you get
All
a
right,
lot of
I'm
that.
gonna need to see this puzzle put together. Frumpa, send us a picture so I can see it because I know you've done this race like I know he does it every year.
He does
so
it every year.
he's got to have the
Yeah, he has races
because
that he does every year.
that's his thing, right? Like if they
He
offer
likes
something
medals, yeah.
if they offer something like a challenge that's yearly, he keeps going back. That's why he keeps going back to Space Coast, because they do the like 5-year challenge.
Did he go this year?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why he was in Jollywood, was because he did that, and then he
did
went
Space
over
Coast.
to
That makes
he went
sense.
to
Was
Space
he
Coast
in
over
Jollywood?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God.
But yeah, that's really the only race we did. We did not do a turkey trot.
Yeah,
Which
see, I
is
just assumed.
Shocking.
I assumed that you guys did one. Because we were in Dublin, we weren't quite, and we were on a different time zone. We weren't quite paying as much attention to here. And so I just made the assumption when I texted you this afternoon and was like, well, you guys had races. And I said races because I remembered the Bay Bridge. And then I just assumed you did a turkey trot.
Yep. I don't know what happened. We just didn't, nobody like pulled the trigger on like what they wanted to do. Tom's mom's still been sick, so like we weren't sure. Like we just didn't want to like plan too much. We did like a little baby turkey trot at my nephew's elementary school that was basically to raise money for the PTA, which was like 2 little laps around his school, which wasn't it. I don't even think it was a mile.
I was just gonna ask about that one because I was gonna say you did a little one because I saw you guys dress as turkeys.
Oh my gosh! And they just thought it was the bee's knees.
And
and then the dog was dressed as a turkey too.
He did not enjoy that.
He was a big hit with everybody except for himself.
Yep. Everyone loved him. I bought it a size too big. I don't know if it was Andrew or Angie called him an abomination, but I thought he was cute.
I thought he was adorable.
He was very scared of it in the house. He would not let me get it near him. But when he was out and like distracted by people and like in the moment, he let me put it on him. So
interesting.
He's got, yeah.
All right, so no turkey trot for you guys.
No turkey trot. I have been running, and I realized I ran because Kimberly was in town. I ran with her, and I got all dressed up in a cute little outfit. We didn't take a photo. We like texted in the car on the way home. We didn't take a photo. And then I ran in a cute outfit earlier this week and did not take a photo. I've been terrible about taking photos.
I feel like, especially when you meet with friends, if you don't take a photo, it's like a sign of a good time. Yep. So, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
When you're by yourself, there's no excuse. Yeah. So I got nothing for that one.
I don't know what happened. Like all of a sudden I was like in the shower and I was like, should have taken a photo. Didn't do anything. Did not do anything. I also got a new phone, so I have to relink We'll Run For on Instagram. Because I was going to share something while we were in Disney. And then I was like, oh, I have to go through all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think if you have to log back in, it might actually text me a code that you're going to have to text for and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So it's going to be.
Because we have the 2-factor on there.
It's going to be a thing. But yeah. So I've been doing that. I've actually been like Pelotoning a lot. I've been doing like some strength. I've been like relatively consistent with training. My mileage isn't super high right now.
But it doesn't need to be. You're not like, there's nothing specific other than, I mean, I know you have January, so that's coming up. But like, even at that, like, not to like discount a half marathon, I'm not. But being where you are and the experience you have, and it being a Disney race, you can fake your way through that half marathon pretty easily. Have fun and do
character stops.
It's just a little bit different of I'm not discounting anyone doing half marathons. I promise.
No, I think I'm going to try and do 8 this weekend and kind of just see what happens. I've been doing all of the holiday stuff on Peloton. So going back and doing previous year holiday races. Or holiday rides and strength. And there's a really fun, anyone on Peloton, there is a really fun standing core. It's 20 minutes. I don't know. It's this blonde standing core girl who's very cute. She's wearing all red, and then she has little like white, almost like little muff cufflets on her arms. So if you're looking for it, it's that one. She turns it into a little like dance routine in the middle. It's super fun. It's all core, but you don't have to lay down, which I love. Tom, what have you been doing?
Not a lot. I'll get back into it.
I'm like, that was a whole lot of.
I'll get back into it.
I will.
Oh,
I will. I'll get there. 10,000 steps a day.
Nice.
There you go.
So
Good, easy goal. Not easy, but it's a good goal.
We got like more than 20,000 every day
Oh
in
my God.
Ireland.
Yeah,
Do you want
so
to
that-
die? Because after 2 days in Disney, I was like, my entire body hurts. I haven't done anything this intensive.
Yeah, it was exhausting.
Well, the big problem was our pillows the first 2 nights sucked.
Oh yeah, they were like basically, and this is common in a lot of hotels, but apparently even more in European hotels, where like the down feather basically goes to like
Paper thin.
nothing. So we have a picture where we have like, I don't know, what
8,
was it, like
9
10 pillows on the bed, 9
yeah.
pillows. It was a lot of pillows because
I
we
was
kept asking
stacking
for more
sweaters
pillows.
and
We
towels
took towels
under.
from the bathroom and like put them underneath to like raise their heads a little. And then
that's my nightmare.
And we were not staying at like a
Yeah.
low-end motel. We were staying at a pretty nice
yeah,
hotel.
I used a free night that I had from being a paid diamond member at Hilton, and then we had built up a lot of points when we weren't really going anywhere for a while. I had a lot of leftover points and stuff, and we hadn't been using much, so we stayed at a Conrad. So we were staying at like a really high-end Hilton.
That's shocking because like when I've been to Europe and it's like you stay in those classic European hotels, like you expect it, but like if you're at like a Marriott, you're like they should have
Yeah.
typical, you know.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
that's typical though. there.
I guess that's
apparently,
true.
Like, yeah. And then but like at one point, so the first time I asked for pillows, no one asked me anything. They just sent up more pillows and we had
Yeah.
pillows. And then when I asked again, because I was like, we need more pillows. I can't, like, we're not sleeping. We need like
Yeah.
our
We
heads
were
elevated.
like not sleeping.
Like this is
at
like
all.
terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So I called and asked for more pillows again. And then that night they were like, oh, would you like the foam pillows or the down pillows? And I was like, foam pillow is an option.
Like definitely the foam because the down is not working.
And so suddenly we had like almost, it wasn't, I mean, I wouldn't call it fluffy, but it was like acceptable.
Reasonable. Yeah.
Okay.
We slept better.
It was insane. I'll send you guys a
Yeah.
picture of the pillow situation.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
Yes. Other than our pillows. Yeah.
we weren't sleeping well was the point of that. So then we were
Yeah.
really extra tired because we
Yeah.
weren't sleeping well.
So that definitely cut into like we definitely weren't going to run because we were just too tired every morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a riot, so we
Well,
weren't going to
yeah.
run. What's that? Very light riot. No,
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
wanna
a light-
disparage
A light
Ireland.
riot. I don't know
Yeah.
what a light riot is compared to a rowdy riot. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was the only thing we saw from it was like the next night they closed things early and there was a bigger police presence. But
Yeah, we didn't really.
we also just didn't want to walk over. We didn't end up walking over to that side of the city just in case like whatever was going on
Yeah.
happened again or like whatever. We just stayed kind of clear of that area, which there's a couple pubs that I had read about. There's that Brannigan's or whatever,
Yeah.
one of the older pubs that are all over on O'Connell.
Yes.
But we just kind of avoided that area. We went to Guinness, which I would recommend.
Yeah.
That was really fun. The Gravity Bar gives you like a full 360 view of Dublin. One of the things Michael said was like it's very interesting because it's a very low city. Like there's no high rises or skyline, and it's because they have like an ordinance apparently that they can't build above a certain height.
Good.
So everything's still like low, and it looks like just I don't know. Everything's old there.
Yeah.
We walked by like the oldest pub in Dublin, and it's like from 1170 something.
In Guinness, and this is obnoxious, and I apologize because you definitely know this, but the atrium, like in the middle of Guinness, did you know that it formed a Guinness glass, and then the gravity bar is the foam of a Guinness?
I actually did not know that.
No.
Like the shape of that interior big empty section that you circle around as you go up.
Yeah.
That's the shape of a Guinness glass, and that
Oh, is it?
that gravity bar
That
is
makes
supposed to be the
sense.
foam on the top of a Guinness.
That makes sense.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
That's interesting. Have you been there?
Yeah, my friend Eric got married there.
Oh, okay.
He got married in Kinsale, which is like the foodie capital of Ireland, apparently, and they're big food people. So we all flew into Dublin, spent way little time in Dublin, and then drove to Kinsale.
Okay. Yeah, it was it was a pretty good tour. The thing that like Michael said was like it was interesting how much they modeled the Maryland
Baltimore
one
yeah.
after the one there, like the inside of it.
It does kind of mimic it
Yeah.
inside.
And then we went over to we did do Jameson also.
Yes.
Cool.
In the morning. Oh my God.
And it was like,
are you certified?
They give you samples and then you get a free one. And then we had walked over to the regular bar, not realizing the free one wasn't in the same spot. So we got like a regular drink, and then we got the free drink. And then I paid for the cask draw. So they take you into a special room where they have the casks, and then they take out of the cask. And that's like bigger than a shot.
An 18-year.
Like it's like a full, it's like.
For sipping?
I was in a place.
Oh yeah, she was wasted. Yeah.
I was in a place.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. Yep. It was good. It was all good.
I was feeling happy. So yeah, it was fun. We really enjoyed it. We mentioned that we went out to the cliffs and we got that walk in. So
wasn't somebody else there that we almost ran into or something? You said.
A Breezy Day Life is who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So oddly enough, like on my birthday, or I think it was I think I posted somewhere and she's like, "Are you in Dublin right now?" And because I was in a different time zone and like I wasn't answering like on social media as much other than when I was I did a couple posts and stuff like that, but nothing big. And I saw it, but then I like got distracted and didn't answer. And then I get a message. When I get back to the hotel, I check my messages and she had messaged and she's like, "Are you guys on Grafton Street?" And I was like, "We were." And she's like, "I totally just saw you."
Oh man, that's so funny. It would have been very, very cool to like, run into
so random because she's definitely not
awesome.
from Dublin.
No.
So that was fun.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been
cool.
That was funny.
Sorry we missed out on that actually.
Yeah. It's hard when you're like traveling and you've got like an agenda, like
because you're not like fully paying attention.
You're not paying attention to things.
Kind of in a foreign country, so you're paying attention to like other things,
like
awareness of like spatial, like and like where people are, and like you're not like fully.
Yeah,
it's a different mindset.
Yeah, it's always hard for me to meet up when I'm places.
I said that when we were at the airport, where Michael needs to tell his story. About how he almost didn't make it back to America.
Which would that have been the worst thing in the world? I don't know.
But I said that because part of the thing is like when someone tells you to do something or like something happens because you're in a foreign country, like it's very different. Like you know the laws of the land where you are, and like the worst thing if you talk back to a TSA agent that might happen to you is like they get mad and they call you a Karen and they tell you can't get on your flight, I guess, but you're in America. So like nothing's really like, you're not going to like get convicted of anything. Like, you know, whereas if you're in a foreign airport and you tend to be like, okay, I'm going to follow all the rules and make sure that nothing happens. So like, I don't know. I feel like
you're usually on your best behavior.
Yes. There's a different level of awareness when you're in a different country.
Yeah, that's true.
So Michael, what happened to you?
Oh God!
Real brief summary.
Going through their version of TSA, whatever you want to call it, the security, same setup, all the same stuff, blah blah blah. I had my passport and my boarding pass in my hand. I also had a digital one, obviously, but I had the paper one and the passport in my hand. I thrown my bag in a container already because they make you put everything in containers versus the bags naked on the belt. She's like, "Oh, you can just throw that in a container with the bag. I was like, all right, cool. So I dropped it in there. I went through the thing. Metal detector, go to the other side. Comes out, grab my bag, lay it down, turn back around. Go to grab my passport. It's not there. Not in the bin.
God.
Oh no.
Like, fuck's my passport? Like, where's this at?
Oh,
Like, yo, my passport is gone. And like, I will say that it's TSA is not great. Like, I am not gonna anybody, or I'm not gonna. Sorry, I'm not gonna bleep myself. I'm not gonna crap on anybody who's doing the job. It's a crappy job. I feel for you. You got to deal with people all day. People are terrible. But I'm not saying it's like they were nicer than our TSA is, but they were also not super motivated to
help
figure out what was happening. So, like, what would be the first thing you would think you would do in an airport that has a billion cameras around to see what happened?
Check the footage.
Yeah, no, that took a half hour to get to that point.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. And then it's like taking longer and longer. 45 minutes to figure out some lady had
I think it was over that. Over
might have been
45.
an hour.
I'm pretty sure it was a full hour.
Yeah. They didn't go to the footage until about 45 minutes.
It was like they kept saying that it was under the belt.
And I'm like, nah. I don't know how their machine works. So I'm like, maybe they have stuff pop out of it. Who knows,
everything there was on a conveyor belt, and everything stays on a conveyor belt. So like when you take your bag out of the bin stays on the conveyor belt and then drops back down.
It's all automatic. It gets recycled.
Then it recycles underneath.
Yeah.
So they kept saying that it was underneath the thing. And we're like, that doesn't make sense. And they're like, no, it goes through like multiple times. It probably just came out.
Yeah. So we
We're
stood
like,
there just watching all these bins come through and go out. And I'm like, I don't think that's what's happening here.
It's so confusing.
Can we just check the camera?
Yeah. He probably said, can we check the cameras like 5 times? And like finally, like over 30 minutes in, they're like, maybe we should look at the cameras.
Yeah. So, all those crime shows where they just follow everybody on cameras? Shit.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, crime shows are shit. Anyway,
yeah.
A lot of bleeping in this episode. I realize that.
It's okay. You're the one who edits it.
It's all you. So
I'm gonna do it to myself. So, yeah. So anyway, they finally then they're like, well, we don't know what time. So then they got to scan my boarding pass or
well, they scanned your boarding pass, the digital one,
but somehow it didn't line up. And
like
they had
5
to
minutes
scan
later,
yours.
they were like, apparently the digital one and because they have different barcodes, they must be coded differently. So like when they tried to scan his, they couldn't find when he came through. So then they had to ask me for mine because I had the paper
footage.
one.
So anyway, yeah. So basically, I take my suitcase out of the bin, turn around, and as I turn around, the bin shoots past me to the next lady because everything's automatic, and she thinks it's hers, and she grabs it and leaves. She doesn't bring it back though when she realizes she has it.
Nope.
She leaves it at the U.S. Customs.
Oh my God.
Well, to be fair, I don't think she could go backwards once she was in customs.
No.
Oh,
like once you're in the customs spot, you can't go back.
That's a fair point.
So what happened though was that she thought it was her. The part that kills me is that they said like it was in her bag, but she had a moment where she looked and she saw it. She just assumed it was hers, and she grabbed it even though hers was safely in her bag. But I guess like when you're absentmindedly like going through
you
and
just
you
kind of
look
grab
and you're see, and then she had like you have that panic moment of like, oh, my passport, and you grab it, but she didn't have any reason to look at it.
Yeah, because she thought she was just grabbing hers. And to be fair, the bins do move pretty quickly once it's not like here where they just move out onto the rollers after they come through the belt.
Yeah, it's an automated belt.
They're like being shuffled down automatically. So they shoot past pretty quickly. So you're like in kind of a rush because you feel like you have to be or you're going to, not have your stuff. So I could see where she grabbed it. But,
yeah. I mean, other than the cameras taking a long time because they couldn't figure out what time we went through. Once they figured that out, and you could see them like pointing at the screen because there was like a bunch of people gathered around. It was they were like, oh, because then they could once they figured out who she was, they're like, oh, we know exactly who she is. She's going to America. We're like, oh, okay,
that's great. Yeah.
So they were able to like figure that out, and we got lucky that again, it got left at customs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And when
Then
did you guys come back?
What's that? Monday?
Monday? Yeah.
Monday morning.
But in the meantime, he says, you can just go. I'm like, where am I gonna go? Am I gonna go back to America by myself and leave you here without a passport or knowing if you are able to find it? Because honestly, we weren't 100% sure we were good. Like if she had gone through or stuck it in her bag and next to her other passport at some point, and then when she pulled out the right one, she could have been on an airplane for all we knew at that point, like with his passport.
Yeah.
So we had no idea whether or not he was going to get it back.
I mean, it had been an hour at that point.
And meanwhile, he's like, just go.
And you're lucky you gave
Just
yourself
leave
enough
me.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, we got there super early, and
I'm
it
like,
wasn't very crowded.
So dramatic. Just leave me.
Did you guys hear about that one family? It was years ago that they were late for a flight, and so they're in the airport. And like the youngest son, he's a troublemaker. He's not the youngest son, but he's a young kid, and he's a troublemaker. And he loses track of his family, and somehow they go to Paris, and he gets on a flight to New York City.
Weird.
He met
Interesting.
some homeless woman in Central Park. Who had a thing about birds. I forget how it ends, but things happen in airports.
Yeah, you never know. There's going to be someone who doesn't understand that reference and then thinks that we're talking about real people here.
We are.
And full families sit in first class while sending all 11 children to sit in the coach by themselves.
Yeah.
Just what did he do for work?
Oh my God.
Good.
Anywho, any other highlights from Dublin? How packed was the Temple Bar area? Because that looked awesome.
Oh, it was insane. We were not going into that.
I do not like that area at all. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Of the places in Dublin we went, like that was like my least favorite area.
Well, I think it's all hooligans.
There's just too many like dumbasses around.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like where the much younger that's like
just too many. Too much.
It's a lot.
Did you get into a Donnybrook?
I mean, we probably could have, but we learned our lesson in Westchester, and we were not going to repeat that.
Okay.
No, we went to like Trinity College.
Yes.
Which was beautiful.
Saw the Book of Kells, which is very old.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that. There's an animated Book of Kells that I watch every St. Patrick's Day. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
It's the oldest, like a really old book.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's the gospel. It's a story of Jesus. It's the Gospels. I think it's 2 of them.
I don't know.
And it's illustrated by monks, but it's like they like the writing, it's all like all the art and like colors and everything were done like on these like really old like pages. I mean, monks who basically don't have anything to do because they've taken vows of silence, who are now illustrating the story of Jesus in like, I don't know, Celtic style.
Yeah. Like the animation is all in Celtic styles. I think it's like Brendan Gleeson is one of the voices. It's and it's like done in that like arts, and it's about the monks.
Okay.
And it tells that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went by St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Is it full of snakes?
Yep, a lot of snakes.
Today
I learned, or not today, but recently I learned that snakes was a metaphor for him getting rid of the last of the pagans.
Yep.
We went to St. George Arcade, which is actually next to the coffee shop from Once.
Yeah, we went to many Once locations and Sing Street
and then we
locations.
went to Sing Street. We went on Sing Street.
Like a Diana tour.
Yeah, we went to Sing Street and took the picture of like just the Sing Street sign. We tried to go back behind this or where the school
where
kind
they
of
would
like
go
where
into the auditorium for the concert and stuff and all that. But we felt weird because
you had to go down like
an
an alley because it was behind like a bunch of like houses and stuff because the church like backed up to or not the church, the school back.
Yeah.
So we were like, we probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah. No, it just felt weird because you were going to school property.
Yeah. So we didn't.
We tried to speak into existence that Glenn Hansard would show up again. He did not show up in Dublin.
You know what we did? We went to a really old-timey theater celebrating its 100th year anniversary.
The theater was amazing.
And they had
we watched
Shop Around the Corner with Jimmy Stewart. And it was like really cool where it had like loungy chairs and then like a little lamp next to you. Like it was like really like an old time theater. And then upstairs is like a lounge. So we went to the bar lounge area afterwards and had some charcuterie board and some drinks.
There was a super douchey guy next to
us. Oh my God, he was so douchey.
He was way too cool for the place.
Oh my God. He kept talking about how like, only like the lawyers who all come here.
Meanwhile, he was cosplaying in Carhartt and clearly never worked a blue collar job.
Carhartt is
like a big
it's like a
thing
luxury
right
brand now.
Yeah.
He
was a Carhartt cosplayer.
Yeah,
probably like
weird.
An artist or something.
Yeah,
who hates lawyers, and it was all
because his friend showed up and he got like super like, oh, this place where all these like he was too cool for it. Like, then why are you here?
Yeah, like I don't know, dude. Like.
Anyway, outside of that, it was lovely.
It was very funny.
But of course, we sat next to that.
He looked exactly what you would think he would look like, too.
Like what you're picturing in your head is exactly what he looked like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. I don't know. It was a good time.
Yeah,
everything's old. I love things that look old.
Yep. I enjoy walking around the city.
Just like taking pictures of the buildings and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you guys were in Jollywood.
Yeah, we did a couple of days in Disney, just kind of on a whim when they announced the party and they went on sale. We didn't know how difficult tickets would be, so we're like, if we get tickets, we get it. And then they had like a room discount, so we literally went down for 2 days, like 2 nights. Did Jollywood. I know like the first night was terrible for people. You guys were there.
Which is the one that we went to. And we don't have much good to say about it other than it had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
We did say that. Like we came away from there saying it has a lot of potential.
We like the vibe of it.
Hollywood Studios during Christmas. The vibe of it was really cool. But there was just so many misses.
They kind of just dropped the ball in the first night.
Yeah. Like, and maybe we were talking beforehand, like, the party needed to be at least an hour longer and they needed to give something to people.
Yes.
Like whether it was cookies and hot chocolate.
And then at least you guys had more characters.
Yeah.
And they had jazzed up the soiree. I can't say that word for some reason right now.
The tip top.
Yeah, they had made it a little bit more festive from what we understand. So they added like some more experiences and things like that to help.
And it was not crowded
lines.
when we went. Yeah. And I think because I'm in a couple of like planning groups on Facebook, which you guys know I just love to be in this Disney Facebook groups. I love it. But people were saying like they were so mad and they were hearing all this stuff and they were people were returning tickets and people were exchanging them for Mickey. So I don't know if it was because it was kind of colder that it was really quiet when we went. I don't know if it was the date we picked or I don't know if it was people panic switching. No one was there. Not one ride in the park had more than a 5-minute wait the entire night.
We had that as well. Nobody wanted rides.
No lines. I walked up and got a Gertie cookie.
That's annoying. That annoys me.
The longest line we stood in was for like one of the moving photos. And it's because like there were a couple of people that had to go 2 or 3 times like get what they wanted correct. But that was the longest line, and I don't think I would say max 25 minutes. We kind of didn't plan properly. Like we had done a ride before the party started, a little too close to when the party started.
Yeah.
So I feel like we lost like 15 minutes in there. And then we were kind of sitting I think a little bit more. Like we'd get food and we'd sit and
Yeah.
But we saw both shows.
Oh,
They were
cool.
awesome.
They were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Nightmare.
Oh my God, the Nightmare Before Christmas one was so good.
Oh yeah, the Night Before Christmas with the puppet was great. I like the Muppet Show. I'm obsessed with the Muppets. That's not unusual.
There should have been more Muppets.
There should have been more Muppets.
There should have been more Muppets.
That
was my qualm with that one.
They should have put Tiana in green, which I don't know why she wasn't in green.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
And then they should have done a little bit more, I think, with Belle and Tiana. And Belle actually came out and sang the song from the straight to VHS Christmas special that I watch every year.
Oh,
so
God.
Everyone's like, what the hell is this song? And I knew every word because
I didn't know why she was there.
You know what? That's fine. I understood that part, like the song. Like my issue was they didn't really give her any interaction with anybody else.
Yeah, she
and
kinda
then
just
she
popped
just
up
kind of like
left.
popped out, and it was
Yeah.
weird. And that was my only thing about that.
They needed some
like
kind
there
of
was like
transition
no.
or something.
Yeah, there was no transition to her.
Yeah.
She just randomly appeared to sing that song, and then you were like, "All right," and then she's done.
That's weird.
Yeah, there was definitely
Whereas
more
everyone else, even
transition
Tiana,
with,
like it made sense because, like, when Tiana came out, they were just talking about like how her like the holiday traditions and like all that stuff, and then like it like her transition made a lot more sense.
Yes. Yep, absolutely.
So
It was a fun show.
but
Those
really-
shows were great, though.
But really, it was sold to me in my mind as a Muppet show,
Yes.
and it was not a Muppet show.
It's not a Muppet show.
Yeah, I did think there would be more of them.
I definitely thought there was
in
going to be more
between
Muppets.
everything, but
Yeah.
But overall, I've
Excellent,
never
still
even,
excellent.
yeah, I've never even seen Nightmare, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. I kind of wanted to be like the great moments in history thing, but like
Yes.
version.
That's what
Or
I was. Yeah,
I honestly thought they'd sing like something from Muppet Christmas Carol. And they didn't.
yeah, that too. Yeah, I wonder.
Like-
they gotta own the rights.
So
to
there's
it.
like room for improvement, but we actually had a really good time, but it's because it wasn't super crowded. It was freezing when we were there. Like Tom had to buy a hoodie.
Oh my god!
And so it's cold. Like that night it got cold. The following day, I don't know what it is about Florida, but when it gets into like the low 50s, it feels like
we said it. Yeah, we said that.
Yep.
Like
we actually, that's what I was expecting from Ireland, actually, because when I went to the Netherlands, we went and it was 50s, and I was prepared for 50s, and then I wasn't prepared, and it was freezing, so it was more like Florida 50. So when we were going to Ireland and we saw 50, I kept saying to him, I was like, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know whether it's going to be Florida 50 or here 50. Like there's two different types of 50. There's 100% a difference.
Nicole bought sweatpants to put on over her jeans at Epcot.
Oh my god!
I had on a sweatshirt all day, and I've got this like fleece thing on that I'm wearing now that I bought in. Like usually if I'm buying like a men's sweatshirt, I'll buy like a large. If I want it to be huge, I buy an extra large. So I brought this in an extra large so it would fit over an actual sweatshirt. And it's just, Tom was like, what the hell are you wearing? Like when I was wearing it today.
I actually, when you stood up earlier, I actually did the same thing.
Like,
I'm not going to
why is it
like,
so
what?
big? And it's because I bought it to wear over a sweatshirt.
Do you know what I thought you were wearing? I thought you were wearing one of those the blankets.
That's what
yes,
I thought
the
it
blanket
was,
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought you were wearing.
Well, I'm wearing this from now until Christmas because
it's also fleecy.
Yes, and it's
Well,
fleecy.
because it's also like fleecy on the outside, so like it's got like
It's
the
like
layers of fleece over there.
It's
So
a
like
spirit jersey for this Festival of the Holidays, but it's huge. Tom had to buy a hat. It was cold, and I don't know if I should even say how not crowded it was, and if I picked the perfect week, because I used to think it was the first week in December, but maybe it's because of when Thanksgiving hit this year.
I think,
Oh.
No one was down there. So I usually wait and do like that first official week in December.
yeah,
but
because
this week was
that first
great.
weekend of December is usually pretty good.
And
That's
it wasn't
interesting that there
last
was.
year.
Yeah,
Packed last year.
well, I feel like in general this year crowds are back to somewhat like last year in 2022, and pretty much through like the end of January, beginning of February, I feel like everything
Yeah.
was still crowded. And then since then, I feel like we're back to somewhat normal-ish crowd levels.
Yeah. But we did the festival of the holiday stuff, which I love. We saw a bunch of the storytellers. And I really like the storytellers in almost all the countries. I like La Befana in Italy a lot. I like Father Christmas. This was the first year I saw Norway, and it's so cute. It's like a barn Santa, and like this little storyteller who's kind of like Anna comes out, and she doesn't see the barn Santa, but like everyone else does, and he kind of looks like a bearded Tom, and he's kind of causing trouble. It's so cute. So, like, if you've never done like the storytell, I think like Hollywood Studios has my favorite decorations, but I think Epcot does the holidays the best at any of the 4
Did we
parks, 'cause I think they
Did you
include
do
a lot more.
storytellers with me, Michael?
Yeah, I think we've
Was
done
that
I
you
love
that I
doing
did
it.
them with? I don't think we saw all the countries, but we definitely walked around to a bunch of them. I wasn't sure if it was you or somebody
Yeah.
else, but I think you might be the only person I've been to in
I love
December.
doing it. And I love there's always a band in Germany. It's a good band this year. The lead singer of the band looks like the guy from the Gilded Age with me and 2 other people in the entire world are watching, I think. But so he looks like that. When I saw that band a couple years ago, it was like a Oompa band with a woman with a corset and giant boobs just bouncing to the Oompa music. So I was slightly disappointed it wasn't her. But,
yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes. Yeah.
But he sang like Disney music in German, and it was the cutest thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, we had an excellent time, and then woke up and did a monorail, not bar crawl, but like went around and saw the Christmas decorations Wednesday morning and flew home. It was a really short trip and low key. So
Nice.
yeah, it was a great little post Thanksgiving, and I
You know,
didn't work today.
we recorded before our Disney trip, so
Yeah.
I actually, when we just said Jollywood, I'm like, well, we haven't talked about
Yeah.
we didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, we were there
because-
for like 4 days.
Yeah, because we went Jersey week. Because you started talking about crowds, and I was like,
and it was hot.
don't go during Jersey week because it really
it
is
was crowded.
It's really as bad as they say it is, and it was like record highs.
Yeah, it was like 88
so we had the
to one
complete
day.
opposite of you, where we had feels like 95 to 98.
Oh, it was so hot. Yeah,
a couple days.
We did a few runs too. Actually,
I think the one day we looked and it said feels like 100.
Yeah.
So that was fun. So yeah. We didn't quite have the same experience of low crowds.
Yeah, we did our simulated wine and dine the weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Michael posted a bunch of pictures of me running around and doing character stops with like, no. He basically made me stop on like the bridge while we were like over by Swan and Dolphin. And then he superimposed the creepy ass
Times Square Mickey.
Times Square. No, that one was
someone else.
Woody.
Oh yeah,
you
Times
put Woody
Square
in
Woody.
there.
Yeah.
And then you did something with Frozen.
Oh yeah, I forget what
when we were in Epcot.
Yeah, we did a Frozen thing for the Epcot.
Because the one day we were really tired, so instead of going out for our 10-miler,
we
speed walked like 5 laps around World Showcase before it got crowded.
Yeah, in the morning. Because when it got crowded, it was like crazy.
Yeah, it was bonkers when we were there. I forgot about that.
It was like you could barely walk around World Showcase. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
Do we want to wrap up with something good?
Sure.
I'm jumping in with mine because mine's excellent. Cher released a Christmas album, I think, for the first time ever.
Wow.
And she's leaned in to what she is as a human. And it's basically a dance album for the clubs.
Good for her.
It's insane. Like the single off of it, I've been listening to nonstop. And doing like a weird Cher voice and singing it. Like
Can you give us a little rendition?
I was gonna say,
DJ, play that Christmas song. I wanna be dancing all night long. So good. It's so good. It's so great. I love it. I love Cher. Go watch Mermaids.
Something good. What did we start watching? Doctor Who is back.
Did you watch the special? I haven't watched it
Yes.
yet.
Yes. We watched the special. We still technically have not finished.
We have like 3 more episodes.
2.5 episodes of 13's final journey there, because that.
Have you gotten to the end of that?
Did you watch?
No.
It is terrible.
It's rough.
So bad.
It's like how you feel about
not the new one. Everybody was talking about the
second season of Lost.
Now, I watched all of Pete. What's his name? Peter. What's his name?
Capaldi.
Yeah, I watched all of him. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Jodie Whittaker. It's a shame, but shows
they
are
really
terrible.
wasted her.
Yeah.
It's real rough.
And then the final season of her got all chopped up because of COVID. And also the story is so convoluted and confusing and makes zero sense.
Which is hard because, I mean, Doctor Who can get confusing and convoluted. Yes. So
this is convoluted for Doctor Who.
In a way where we kept turning to each other and asking if we understand. And there was one specific thing that's happening, and we're like, "Do you know what that is? What does that mean? What does?" And then you go to the internet, and it's literally nobody understands what that word means. No one understands what's happening. No one understands what happened.
You're like, "Is this a reference that I've forgotten?"
Yeah, what? I don't. No, they all collectively, the entire Who world does not understand what is happening. So it is not just us, and we're struggling to even get to the end of that season.
We'll get there.
But the special was as perfect as it could have been.
It was fun
for the first one. I mean, obviously, I know there's 3 of them, but it was perfect.
I'm glad we get Donna.
Chef's kiss.
Get some new Donna.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some things that were a little clunky.
Well, I mean, there always are.
It's Doctor Who, though. That's kind of what you...
I mean, my something good was going to be Harry Potter because it's always Harry Potter. But he wanted to run for it, so I'm not sure if I can use it now.
Catch the kerfuffle.
You know what my something good is not?
You don't catch the kerfuffle.
No,
What's it called?
At least
it's not a kerfuffle. It's a quaffle, and you're avoiding it. No, you are trying to catch it, aren't you?
Yes.
Let me have your quaffle, Hermione.
Settle down.
That's just you at this point going that's not even attempting an accent at this point.
I'm sorry, that was Haggard. That was
Tom's very much once I make my move. That's usually where he goes.
Once I make my move, you're free to check the king. No, Ron, no! What is it? It's gonna sacrifice himself. No, you can't. There must be another way. You want to stop Snape from getting that stone or not? Harry, it's you who's got to go on. Not me, not Hermione, you. End scene. That was nice.
He does it a lot.
That felt good.
Yes. So we were not home. Normally we started on Thanksgiving Day, and Michael kept wanting to start it last week, and I'm like, no, it has to be between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we have to fit, and then there's rules to our thing. It's Harry Potter after Thanksgiving and Lord of the Rings after.
You guys, I want to watch. We have the Meg 2. Which is arguably the best film that's been made in the 20th century.
You can watch it without me.
But I'm not allowed to watch non-Christmas related content the month of December, as per our house rules.
It's not technically the month of December, but
it will be.
It will be tomorrow,
and our month of December starts the day after Halloween. By the way,
we will continue on with Harry Potter, and then I have a whole list of Christmas movies.
And you can have my sword.
What?
Let's moving on to Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
Well, and poor Tom married into that. I have watched Lord of the Rings every year between Christmas and New Year's since the release of the first movie, which came out Christmas time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's why it's become that's why it's a Christmas tradition.
Yeah,
is because
it's so
feels
funny
like a Christmas movie.
tons of people do that. Like, I didn't realize
I
it
agree.
was a thing. I thought it was just some weird thing I did until like the internet started talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I think even when we first said that we did it, you were like, "Oh, that's so like it's so weird that we all do that."
Yeah. Because even
Look at
what is her
Indiana
name? That blonde
Bones.
with the one from the Menu. What is her name? Anna Taylor-Joy.
Oh, yeah.
She said like the boy she was dating had that tradition, and she'd never watched him before, and he like had her watch him because he was on Colbert talking about it. And he's like the biggest Tolkien fan in like the world. Like he's like super nerd.
So my something good is I've had some early mornings recently where I just come out and sit on the couch and I put a little blanket down and Indiana comes and he sits in my like lapish area and he passes out.
Oh.
And it gives me immediate back spasms because of the angle that I'm sitting at, but I can't move.
Yes. Agreed.
So
it's the rule.
So I'll sit there for about an hour and a half in periodic pain.
Yeah.
With this adorable puppy.
I mean, that's what happens.
Curled up like a little bean.
It's the rule. You cannot move once an animal is on you. And Ollie has been extremely needy since we've been back. So he's been on one of us at all times. Yep. So I get it. Look at that face.
I know.
Look how happy he is. Indiana Bones. He's like, this is the best life ever.
Look at
my
him.
goodness. I'm getting belly rubs and ear rubs at the same time.
He's looking for ways to commit crimes. He always has one eye open for crimes. He's also doing a new thing where he just likes to climb on all the furniture like a goat. So
nice.
That's what we have going on.
That's cute.
It's
adorable.
Yep. So
all right.
Yep. Well, good luck to everybody finishing up their dopey training and stuff.
Yeah.
We somehow gave you a nice long episode, even though we had absolutely nothing to talk about.
Always and forever, guys. Always and forever.
Go get your 10,000 steps.
Yes.
Send us your end of year goal getters.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yes. This will probably be the last live-ish one. Like, we're going to pre-record the other ones. So
none of these are all pre-recorded.
Well,
nobody's watching us live.
Okay. Well, I just more meant not done like exactly the week before we release it. We're probably going to record next week, and then the next 2 weeks will be 2 episodes will be kind of on a delay from when we record them. Is what I'm saying.
And we'll see from there with the Disney race things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okie dokie smoky. So I'm going to wrap us up with a traditional Irish blessing.
Oh.
Because you guys went to Ireland.
I always love Diana's reaction to whatever you're about to say.
It's never like what I think it's going to be. Like it's always like it always makes sense, but it's never the direction I think he's going to go.
I like to keep you guessing. So this Irish blessing goes: may your troubles be less and your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door. I'm kidding. You can cut that out.
He would never say that.
That's true.
I was swallowing water. That was terrible timing. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you all for listening, and we will talk soon. Bye.